going to discuss about role of an individual in preventing pollution, flood, earthquakes, cyclone and landslides. Environment protection has been burning issue in last half century. In order to tackle the means of pollution, urgent steps have to be taken at not only global or country level, but also at local level. In fact, the role of the individuals in prevention of pollution is of critical importance because it is the individual that make a community or country. Effort by each individual at his or her level can have a significant effect on his global level. It has been aptly said, charity begins at home. Aware and inspired individuals are strongest tool to tackle pollution. This is because an aware individual not only lessens the burden on state but also he or she can tackle problems of pollution more effectively as he or she is more familiar with problems persisting at local level and he himself or herself deals with them in his or her day-to-day life. It is better and more viable to prevent pollution by educating individuals than controlling pollution. Individuals should encourage to modify their life cycles and living habits if that are not healthy for environment. The first important step towards reducing disaster impact are to correctly analyze the potential risk and identify measures that can prevent, mitigate, or prepare for emergencies. Communication technology can play a significant role in highlighting risk areas, vulnerabilities, and potentially affected populations by producing geographically referenced analysis through geographic information system. The importance of timely disaster warning is mitigating negative impacts can never be underestimated. For example, although damage to property cannot be avoided, developed countries have been able to reduce loss of life due to disasters such more than effectively than their counterparts in developing world. A key reason for this is the implementation of effective disaster warning system and evacuation procedures used by the developed countries and the absence of such measures is developing world. Individuals should minimize wastage of resources such as electricity. Every unit of electricity saved is equivalent unit of electricity produced, as it not only saves the fuel that would be used to produce that electricity, but also help to prevent pollution that is accompanied by burning of that fuel. Therefore, person should always switch off appliances when not in use. Individuals should prefer walking or use cycles instead of using motor vehicles, especially when distances to be traveled are small. Individuals can make considerable contribution by using mass transports, buses, trains, etc. instead of using personal vehicles. Even going to workplaces, colleagues from nearby localities should pool vehicles instead of going in individual personal vehicles. Taking personal vehicle for periodic pollution checks out centers approved by authorities. Individuals should reuse items whenever possible. Products that are made of recycled material should be given preference. Use gunny bags made of jute instead of plastic bags. Take part in environment conservation drives such as tree planting drives, use water resource efficiently, use renewable resources by installing equipment such as solar heaters or using solar cookers. Dispose potentiality harmful products such as cells, batteries, pesticides, container, etc. properly. Use the refrigerators should be minimized whenever as possible, as they are in main source of CFC, which is responsible for ozone layer depletion. Follow and promote family planning as more population means more resources utilized and more resources utilized imply more pollution. Avoid making noise producing activities such as listening to a loud music. Use handkerchiefs instead of paper tissues. Organize drivers to clean streets and clean drains with help of other people of locality. Spread awareness and inspire other people to prevent pollution. Individuals should be encouraged to acquire information and innovations from world over and implement them locally. Prevention and mitigation are all those actions we can take to make sure that a disaster don't happen, or if it does happen, that it doesn't cause as much as harm as it could. We can't stop most natural phenomena happening, but we can reduce the damage and caused by an earthquake if we build stronger house and no on solid ground. Taking measures in order to avoid an event turning into a disaster, planting trees, for example, prevent erosion and landslides. It can also prevent drought. Knowing which hazard and risks we are exposed into in our community, getting together with our family and our neighbors and making plans to reduce those hazards and risks and to avoid them harming us. Actually doing what we plan to do in order to reduce our vulnerability. Taking actions, not just talking. These methods include planting vegetation to retain extra water, terracing hillsides to slow flow downhill, and the construction of floodways. Other techniques include the construction of levees, dikes, dams, reservations, or retention ponds to hold extra water during times of flooding. In many countries, river prone or to floods are often carefully managed. Defenses such as levees, burns, reservoirs, and ways are used to prevent rivers from bursting their banks. When these defenses fail, emergency measures such as sandbags or portable inflatable tubes are used. Coastal flooding has been addressed in Europe and the Americas with coastal defenses such as seawalls, beach nourishment, and barrier islands. A dike is another method of flood protection. A dike lowers the risk of having floods compared to other methods. It can help prevent damage. However, it is better to combine this dike with other flood control methods to reduce the risk of a collapsed dike. These are the things we can prevent pollution like flood, earthquake, cyclone, and landslide. Thank you.